Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Life in the Woods Renaissance. Last episode, we started this warehouse that we've got kind of laid out right here, and in this episode, I would like to finish it. Hopefully we'll be able to get it all done today. There's a lot to do, though, so we should probably get to work. So I think the first thing that we'll want to do is take all of these pillars up. I'm thinking four high? Yeah, probably 4. Yeah, let's go 4 for now. So let's just build all of these guys up. And that's going to be a lot of dark oak wood, obviously, because all of these pillars are this dark oak wood. And, yeah, we're going to go through quite a bit of it in this build, without a doubt. Now here, this is kind of a little... This is a little weird right here, this one. And actually looking at it, I may change this up like that. I don't really know. Wow, it's getting dark already. Holy cow. Man, that didn't take long. Let's work our way back to the house and take a little nap. I'll get these pillars built up, and then I'll come right back to you. All right, guys, I am back. So, I've done a little bit of work. We got the pillars done, I got the walls all filled in, and I tore up the floor in here as well. So I think the next step is probably going to be to lay down the floor, and I think a spruce floor makes a lot of sense because that's kind of what we're using in the rest of this area as well, so why would we not use it here? Like, that just makes the most sense to me. Let's make ourselves a crafting table real quick, just so I don't have to run back to the house every time I gotta craft up something new here. Let's go... That might be enough, maybe. How much dirt did I grab up? Oh, that's probably not gonna be enough. That's okay, we'll make more as we need it. So, let's get our floor filled in, and as I said, I'm gonna use spruce slabs for this. Just because not only does it go really well with the dark oak, in my opinion, it also fits the color scheme of basically everything else that we've built in this little area. So this is what we're going with. I hate that little mechanic within inventory tweaks. It drives me crazy. Yeah. Let's see. I have a feeling we're going to have to make more. Let's just finish getting this filled in here. There we go. That looks good. Yeah, we're not going to have enough. Not quite. Almost. But not quite. We're going to be just a little bit short. With that whole thing we've got filled in. But that's okay. That's fine. We'll just go ahead and maybe make like half a stack worth. I think that should be enough. Right? Yeah. Yeah, that'll be plenty. Okay. So we've got our floor in place. We've got our walls in place. And that's good. This is all going to be storage. This is all going to be storage. This is these 4 chunks right here are going to be our main storage areas. I don't know what I'm going to do with this little hallway and this little hallway. I'll probably put something over here. And then I'm thinking maybe here, or maybe we'll split that. Maybe here we'll have like a staircase that leads down to a lower underground level, or we could do that over here as well. It might make more sense over here. I don't know. Either way, the next step, I think, is most certainly to do the roof on this thing. And this is where stuff's going to get a little tricky. So we have a couple options. Let's see here. If we go here, this is not what I'm going to use for the blocks. I just want to kind of figure this out a little bit. That's our center, but I want to have 3 peaks on this thing. Is it possible? No. Not 3 even peaks anyway. Although, actually... Yeah, it is. Because we'd have stairs on top. Yeah, it's possible to have 3 even peaks on this. Okay, cool. So let's do what we can to make this work. I'm gonna need a lot more. Well, not that many more, but I'm gonna need a decent amount of spruce stairs. Actually, yeah, I will need a lot more than that. Let's just go ahead and make 2 stacks worth. There we go. And then I need to get up there. Let's just do this. There we go. Okay. So we'd have spruce stair, and then these would all be spruce stairs as well. Well, that almost seems too high. I think that's a little too high for what I'm going for. I don't want this thing to be super, super tall. So why don't we lower that by 1 block? So this is our roof level right here. And then that also makes it really easy to do this. And just go across. Or get stuck on land. Like, that's cool too. Everybody likes that. There we go. We'll get the little overhang. Sun is setting again, naturally, always. It always does this. Let me go sleep. And then I'll kind of work out the roof shape, which is going to be kind of the tricky part, especially given how small the peaks on this are going to be. It could actually be a little tricky to make this look good. Maybe. I guess we'll find out and see. So let's see here. We want 1, 2, 3, and then something like that. Right? No, other way around. JK, other way around. So you go there, you go there. And then we'd have peaks like this. 1 here, 1 there, like so. And then finally, another peak right there. And I think... inventory tweaks, why you do this to me? There we go. So then we do something like this. Now, this little section that kind of juts out over here, this is going to be kind of an exception. Because this thing is not part of this main peak. It's going to be a little different. This needs to come down a little bit. This is kind of in the way right now. I think this whole chunk of the hill might actually have to get lowered at least a bit. Not a huge amount. Like, I still want this to be kind of in this, like, valley section thing. But at the same time, I don't want it to be just, like, randomly... I don't want the roof to be balancing itself on the grass. That's not a good look. So let's come over here. And I think we'll probably need to plan this from this side. So here, 1, 2, 3, and then like so, right? And then 1, 2, 3. So here and here, like so. And 1, 2, 3, and here, and there, right? Yes, that looks correct. At least from what I can see right now, this looks right. So let's cap these. Why? There we go. That was a little weird. So we'll just kind of get this stuff in place. You'll go there. That should do. This looks a little derp, though, right here. I just realized that. That looks a little funky. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, shape-wise, we could probably make it work. But that's still kind of funky. We could lower portions of the wall, or the whole wall. Possibly, that might be an option. Really, we only need like 3 height in here, but I think the 4 feels good, because we'll have our ceiling like up here. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Let me play around with it a little bit, guys. I'll come back to you in just a little bit. Alright, guys, I am back, and this is what I came up with. It still gives us 3 even peaks, but it doesn't drop below here in the middle at any point. And I think that is probably going to be our best bet. So let me show you how to do that. It's actually not that hard. So what we did, well, the first thing we need to do is tear up the side over here that we already had built. Just this little chunk of the roof. The other reason that we're doing it this way is that I don't have to tear up nearly as much stuff as if I were to raise the whole thing a level or something like that. And it's a little bit more interesting too. But we get to keep this overhang here. And then we go up like that. And, oh, and up like that, just like before. Here, 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 and then we flip it, come down to here, and then right here, we put a full block and an upside down stair. So it looks like that. And that's where it's a little sneaky. It's a little sneaky for sure. And then we can just go ahead and bring this up to the normal peak like we have been. And it will all look perfectly fine. So do that. This guy here. Turn it there. Full block. Like so, right? And you can see it kind of forming this shape here that we were looking for. And then finally, like that. So you'll end up with this kind of roof shape that still gives us this kind of 3-peaked roof, which is very interesting, but at the same time, it doesn't mess with the building. It doesn't interfere with the walls. We don't have the walls sticking up out of the roof like we would have had before. So now the fun part comes, and that is going to be filling in the roof, and that's going to take a while. I'm going to need a lot more dark oak. So I'm going to take a cut here. I'm going to go gather a bunch of dark oak, fill in the roof, and I'll come back to you in just a little bit. All right, guys, I am back, and I've got the roof filled in and looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. I think it turned out really well. Also, we grew a dark oak tree. First one we've actually grown ourselves. We can replant a couple of these, actually. Dark oak saplings, if by some chance you don't know, they will not grow on their own. They have to be in a 2x2 square in order to grow. So they can't just you can't just plop them down. You have to plop them down in a formation like that. And then they will grow and everything will be good. So, yeah, dark oak saplings. Gonna need lots of dark oak in this area, obviously, since that's kind of the primary material that we're using, and the forest itself is actually kind of running a little low on dark oak. But I've also done some work in here. Now, we've got this thing that kind of runs all the way across, and I'm not really a huge fan of it. I don't know yet how exactly we're gonna deal with it, but I do have a couple of ideas. It does have to be dark oak for the roof to work, but it doesn't necessarily have to be full blocks here. It could be stairs, or it could be slabs. Basically just something that gives a flat surface on the top of that block. That's kind of what we did here as well, because the roof, there's a line that comes right here. If I'd planned a little bit better, I probably could have put this on top of a wall or something, and then it would have been a little bit easier, but a little too late for that now. But in the meantime, what we can do is we can go ahead and start filling in some of these chests. So we're basically just going to vary or alternate between regular chests and trap chests. You guys have seen me do this before, and this is kind of one of the oldest tricks in the books, as far as Minecraft is concerned. Basically, you can put chests of... Come on. Place. And... place. Okay, good. And those now should all open the same way, right? So we can basically get a wall of chests like this. And that gives us a ton of storage space. We are going to need a lot more chests to kind of fill this out properly. But this is a decent start. This will at least get a... Let's see. Wow. We went through those so quick. That was 2 stacks of oak logs. So, let's see. 4 by 5. So we're talking 40 chests per side, essentially. For each of these little... Wow, that's a lot of chests. Okay. So... I think I might have to do some tree chopping. Do some more tree chopping, because... That did not... Those chests didn't go nearly as far as I thought they were going to. That's alright, though. That's fine. The lumber axe will make that really easy. We can chop down massive quantities of wood relatively quickly, and it shouldn't be too big of a deal. And we will also need tripwire hooks, but those are pretty easy to get too. So let's just chop down these here oak trees. We'll just bring all of them down, might as well. Right now they're just kind of in the way anyway. Is there another tree hiding down there somewhere? Yes, there is. I see it. Let's get that as well. And by the time we come back, those saplings will probably all have planted themselves. I feel like there's another tree right here. Yes. Okay. I think we got all of those trees. Now, I don't know... How much wood have we got? Wow, that wasn't even a full stack of any single kind of wood. I leveled huge quantities of this forest to get enough wood to build the warehouse itself. Looks like I might have to do that just to fill in all the chests and stuff too, which is a little well, I shouldn't say disappointing. It's not really disappointing. It's just kind of surprising. I underestimated the amount of wood that I would need for this build. Let's put it that way. That's probably the best way to explain it. And I know I'm also going to want to work in some storage drawers as well, kind of like we have in the house. For specific items that we're going to end up with a ton of, it would be nice to have storage drawers. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that in the basement of the warehouse, because the warehouse will ultimately have a basement, and I think that would be the most sensible place to put the storage drawers, just because storage drawers you don't need, but they work best if you essentially have a very large wall of them, because then you can control huge quantities with one drawer controller. Hello, thing. Oh, tell me my... Okay. You know what? I'm gonna make another lumber axe. Pretty sure I've got some iron on me. I saw it in my backpack here. Let's just eat a little food. There we go. So... Ha! I win. Okay. So... That's a pretty good amount of wood. That'll make us at least a few more chests. That should be a good start. I don't know if it will be enough to completely fill the warehouse, but let me get those chests made. Let me get them in place, and I'll come back to you in just a sec. All right, guys, I am back. So I have all the chests in place. Now, I want to go ahead and make a ridiculous quantity of item frames. Massive quantities of item frames. I'm actually going to need even more than that. I need not a lot more, just a little. Close. There's a little bit. I think I'm like 2 pieces short. 17. Yeah, that should do it. Get out of the way, cows. I need 80 item frames altogether. Oh my gosh. These cows. Fine. You know what? You don't want to get out of the way? I'll just kill you. It's okay. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and there's 8, 16. That is exactly 80 item frames. And then we'll put the rest of the raw beef in there, take a little sleep, and then I'll show you what we got in the warehouse. We still have some things we got to work out. We still got to work out the lighting, because right now I've just got torches kind of spammed in there, and obviously that's not ideal. But we've got all of these chests here, and we can kind of get super organized with this by labeling every single thing. And this should be plenty of storage space for the time being. I mean, there's no automation in this pack for the most part. You know, you're not gonna get an ender quarry that's gonna mine unlimited resources for you or anything like that. So this should be plenty, absolutely plenty of storage space. We do, however, kind of need to work out a little bit of a roof design. And I've got a couple ideas for that. As many of you know, well, maybe some of you don't know, but I digress. Anyway, one of the YouTubers that I watch a lot is BWO, and he has done this a couple of times, and I thought it would be kind of cool to try it out and see how it looks in this build. One thing he likes to do is to make a stair design that's kind of, or a ceiling design type thing that's kind of like this. And it creates these beams, which is kind of cool. Now, this isn't a design that I personally use on a regular basis, but given that we've got this annoying beam right here that's completely in our way, I thought this could be kind of a good place to test it out. So that's what we're going to try first. Before we do anything else, we'll just try it right here. And I mean, honestly, just kind of looking at it, I like it. I like the way that this is looking so far. It's going to be a little tricky to place some of these. Well, maybe not. Yeah, we should be able to get around it pretty easily. There's these, like, there's just a couple spots where there's like beams in the way and stuff like that. But I think overall, it looks pretty good. And it creates this kind of effect. And you can't really see behind the chest anyway, so I'm not super worried about that. And then up here, now these guys could be a little bit trickier to get to. I probably should have done the ceiling before I did the, before I did all the chests in there. But it's a little late for that now. I think it's okay. It's fine. Let's just finish that part off. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not too bad. Now over here, we're going to do essentially the same thing, except reversed. We're just going to switch it up. We're just going to reverse it a little bit. And here as well. These will come the other way, like so. Okay. So that's not a bad look. However, we can do better. We can definitely do better. So right here, oh, just kidding, not right there. Ooh, but we won't be able to do that on this side, will we? Because those stairs essentially need to be there. I was going to say, what we could do over here, which would be kind of cool, since there's nothing sticking out, we could take a couple logs and just kind of work them through like that. But I think that kind of breaks the effect, honestly. And I think we're better off sticking with what we had. Now, lighting in here is going to be a little bit of a challenge. I mean, I don't particularly want to just spam torches everywhere, but that might be what we kind of have to do. At least in certain spots. I mean, obviously the lighting that's just like sticking up randomly on the ground, that's not gonna work. So we'll have to figure something else out for over there as well. But like this type of lighting right here, it's not really my favorite. But I think it'll do. It's fine. It at least lets us get this lighting up off the ground. I thought about using redstone lamps in these sections, but the thing is a lot of these chests are trap chests, including a lot of the chests that are right next to the lamps, and I thought it would be a little goofy if you were to open chests and turn off lamps. So we're not going to do that. But this looks pretty good. This isn't bad. We've got a lot of space over here yet to work with. This we can dig down to a basement. Maybe I'll put like a little crafting area over here with just like a furnace, an ender chest, and a crafting table, or, you know, something like that. I don't really know. Or we could put a couple storage drawers up here for some of the really common items that we would get massive quantities of. But we've got this awesome warehouse, and I think that is pretty much all that I have time for in this episode. There is one final thing to do, and that is to make ourselves a couple of doors. So let's make 2 doors, and I'm thinking spruce for the texture on the doors. Makes sense, at least to me. And we'll just put them right here. There we go. That looks good. And a little bit of spruce on the warehouse doors. Yeah, I think that'll do. But as I said, guys, I am out of time for this one. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.